Morning, I'm calling to order the Community and Emergency Services Committee meeting for April 23rd. Please bow your heads and we will say the invocation. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this day and thank you for this time together to conduct the county's business. Lord, we ask for your protection and wisdom over our county leaders, staff, sheriff's officers, and firefighters. Please be with us now as we go over these agenda items and help us to do all things in your will. In your most holy and precious name I pray. Amen. Please stand for the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States, republic for which God.
We have a full quorum present today with 3 members. Have you had an opportunity to look over the minutes from the March 26th meeting?
Move to consent.
Second.
Approve, sorry, not consent.
Or approved. Do we have any changes to today's agenda?
Ready for your approval, Madam Chair.
Thank you. We'll move forward with that as is. Given no presentation or consent agenda items, we will move directly into the debate agenda, and looks like we are starting with Mr. Johnson.
Actually, Ms. Reese is going to present
Okay.
this first item. Thank you.
Morning.
So we would like to hold another auction out at Fleet. This will be our 3rd auction that we have had. We've been very successful with the past ones. And so we would like to move forward with a 3rd one, and we would like to use Sunset Auction Company to hold the auction for us, or to be our auctioneer. The contract before you includes a 5% fee from any sales that we have, plus they receive a 10% buyer's fee, and we would like to hold this auction on May 18th.
Move to
Staff
consent.
recommends approval.
Second. So moved.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item we have here consideration is an appointment to the Construction Board. We had a resignation by Mr. Ken Coleman. Commissioner Couch would like to appoint Tara McNaylor to fill this unexpired term that ends December 31st, 2024, and staff recommends approval.
Second.
So moved.
Next item we have consideration of rejection of RFP 2024-001, RFP 1001, video production. We sent out an RFP looking for options for video production for the entire county. What we do here, AV, in this meeting, potentially streaming this meeting, looking at other opportunities there. We're also trying to do more production of our own videos, to be able to get our message out better. At the end of all this, we made a decision to reject all proposals and go a different route on this. Also with what the Superior Court requested in their budget as well, we're actually looking at potentially bringing some people in-house to do this type of work. There's a significant savings if we do this in-house, even with the expense of the equipment that we need to buy up front. It's a pretty big savings for the county. So staff recommends rejecting all of these proposals.
Consent.
Second. So moved. Thank you. Morning.
Thank you. Good morning. First item for consideration this morning is the intergovernmental agreement with Columbia County Board of Education for shared use of recreational facilities. It's an agreement we've had in place for many years now. It gives us reciprocal use of facilities. So our programs are able to utilize Board of Education facilities and vice versa. The only cost is if there is some sort of staffing cost, then we would pay that, or they would pay that for our facility. So, excuse me, staff recommends approval of the agreement.
Most commonly found with like indoor gym usage and then field.
I would say our heaviest use of their facilities is their gyms for the basketball program, and many of their teams use this agreement to reserve fields for practices as needed throughout. So we're very happy with it. I think they're very happy with it as well.
Consent.
Second. So moved.
Next is our annual contract renewal with the Convention and Visitors Bureau to promote the county as a tourism destination. Staff recommends approval.
Changes?
No changes.
Second. So moved. Next.
Next is the tournament agreement with the Georgia Bulls Soccer Club. This is for 2 tournaments per year, one in January, one in August. Very successful tournaments that have generated a lot of overnight stays in Columbia County hotels. We estimate the economic impact of $600,000 for those 2 tournaments. It's well over, pushing 200 teams per tournament. So it continues to grow, and it will continue to grow as we grow our inventory of fields as well. So the host fee for this tournament is $30,000 to be paid for out of budgeted hotel motel funds. Staff recommends approval.
Their tournament?
It is their tournament.
Part of an organization, like we have the Bassmasters. What about?
Correct. It's the Georgia Bulls soccer tournament that they run through their club organization. South Carolina Youth Soccer is the overarching sanctioning body of the tournament.
So moved. Next.
Next item, we have the contract renewal number 2 with Alex Cooper for computer instruction at the Columbia County Libraries. This is an independent contractor agreement. You can see the list of classes that he offers. We've had him on board with us for several years at a rate of $30 per hour. We'd like to renew this agreement. Staff recommends approval.
What is the cap on hours? I mean,
Cap on hours is a maximum of 30 hours per week.
okay.
But
These
there
are-
are some weeks that we don't hit that, of course.
They're pretty well attended and
Pretty well attended. I think we're 1,500 to 2,000 attendees for a year.
second. So moved.
All right, going back to the Georgia Bulls Soccer Club, this is their annual field usage agreement. This allows them to utilize county fields for their program. They've done a good job of working around our growing program, so it is becoming more difficult to accommodate this, but we have continued to find a way. They pay $40 per player per season, so they have a spring season and a fall season. Somewhere in the neighborhood of $25,000 to $30,000 total revenue for a year. Staff recommends approval,
Basically offsets what we get.
basically.
Move to consent.
So moved. Next.
Next is the renewal number 4 for the purchase of nutrition services from the sheriff's office. This is these are the meals for the home delivered meals and the senior center meals at a rate of $3 per meal. This is budgeted for in next fiscal budget. Staff recommends renewal of this agreement.
At some point, we had a waiting list for the delivery of these meals. Worked through that, correct?
We've worked through that. We're very minimal now, 5 or so, but there is a waiting period while we make an assessment, so that's the only reason there's anybody on it at this point.
That's about 63,000 meals.
Correct.
Impressive for $3.
A lot.
Move to consent.
Second. So moved. Next.
Next is the facility usage agreement with the YMCA for summer camp at Patriots Park. Had this in place since 2015 at a rate of $1.50 per camper for a revenue of about $5,625 per summer. This has been successful. We'd like to continue it. They operate mainly out of the gym space, but they also go out and do outdoor things as well. So it's a quality camp. Staff recommends approval.
And this is in lieu of any sort of summer camp the county would provide, or in addition?
in addition to the summer sports camps that we provide.
Okay.
This is more of a day camp, this is more of a full-day camp.
That-
So moved.
Next item is for the purchase of a mobile stage for Parks, Recreation, and Events. As our number of events have grown and number of events at locations without stages, that is- sort of have a need for our own stage. We're paying, depending on the size of the stage, it could be anywhere from $2,000 to, even $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 to rent a stage. Having our own stage would enable us to continue to grow events to these other areas of the county or parks or spaces that don't have those stages. This is a 16 by 24 stage that you pull behind. It has a hydraulic system that opens up and everything is self-contained, lights, sound, all of that stuff. We think we'd get a lot of usage out of this. For instance, Mr. Kennedy just mentioned the market would be a ideal spot for this. We have live music out there. Even events that historically we haven't had stages, we can, for instance, the Easter event at Patriots Park, the stage could sort of serve as the main hub of the event, as well as other events throughout the county that have needed stages.
What are those-
9/11 ceremony. Yes, sir.
How much do we spend renting
How many
on
times?
I mean, 150 grand, right? And on average,
I would say we're probably in the 20 to 30,000 range, but it would be more. There's times where we have not done certain events based on need to rent a stage. So it would expand those options for us.
You see the possibility of being able to rent the stage to other
Yes.
cities to recoup?
Right. Yes, and we'd have to do some research as to what that fee would be, but absolutely, I think that would be a very popular option for those renting Evanstown Center Park or really any of the parks. I think, we have the LED screen now. There's also a fee tied to that. That's been successful as well. So this gives us a lot of versatility, a lot of flexibility. The exhibition center is another location that stages on a regular basis, could be used out there. So, yes, it would take some time to recover that cost, but I really think this would be impactful to enhance events and increase events. The lawn out in front of the Harlem Library has become a popular spot for events as well. That's a place where stages are having to be rented, whether it's us or an outside group. Bank Blanchard Park is another location that we've had the Food Truck Friday. We've rented stages. So this is an added option of versatility and convenience, and again, would expand our programming. So staff is recommending approval of the purchase out of TAVT funds, $151,949.
And how often do we rent you mentioned renting them for about 10. How often in a year do we rent them?
Janet, do you have a number for that? Right.
and I'm just looking at the ROI, if you spend 150 grand, even if it's 20 grand, bringing in revenue, talking 6-7 years. We rent these exact same kind?
No, this is more,
And what's the warranty on this? It takes 6-7 years. Worth buying.
yes, there is a warranty with this in the contract. Second.
We'll say the mobile stages tend to be much sturdier. What ones that are ran into that issue. Your issue anyway. Exhibition Center. Mike Pence came. Wasn't very. So you won't get the play in it that you on the. Or is that having said that too, the stage could actually be wheeled into exhibition. The exhibition center, quite frankly, deployed. Those are, the points you make about the cost and the ROI are, valid. I think what we might see is that, or if we were to have this, then not forego it.
What's the lifespan? Something like this?
Kind of where I was headed.
Did you find that, John?
I'm still looking.
I'll think of something. Anyway, it's a great color. We can get that answer. And these tend to be, like I said, much more durable. I think the lifespan on this is gonna be greater than the one.
We don't own those, right?
But no, we don't. Those are the ones we rent.
So it can be used inside, even with the
Yes,
built-in diesel
absolutely.
generator? You just,
Well, you wouldn't need the generator. But
that electrical package.
Plug it in, I think.
It's got lighting as well, I
well,
believe.
you would need both, right? Because of the field power too.
Like the fact that it would make it easier to bring events to different areas in the county versus, like you mentioned, Evans,
Harlem.
Eubank Blanchard, Harlem, yeah, the
Electrical package number 1. Main breaker and 4 additional 20 amp panel mounted circuit breakers, 3 receptacle mounted in a canopy, 2 duplex receptacles mounted in a canopy rear on 2 circuits, power cord upgrade to 50-foot width. I don't know if I can really translate that for you, but.
Well, what you do have too is that, I mean, it's all inclusive, right? So you have your lighting, power.
There's
not
no,
just the
there's no
stage.
issue getting power to it.
So the question becomes too, when you rent a stage, and I don't know this, Janet, right now, if you guys rent a stage, are you just getting the stage? Is someone else doing lights? So those are additional costs that this would have to be figured.
Right. And the speed and convenience is a factor in this too. When we rent a stage, there is, and let's say there's potential bad weather coming, we have to make a decision sometimes well in advance, earlier in the week, whether or not to cancel, because once they come and set the stage up, we're on the hook for whatever that rental is. Sometimes, we've had to eat that cost because they've come and set it up earlier in the week, and then it's rained and we've had to cancel. This gives us a little more flexibility to wait really until to the last minute, come out and roll this out.
Got its own generator. Move to consent.
so moved. Have any legal matters today? Staff reports.
Good morning. I have our response reports and up-to-date budget report. I'll be glad to answer any questions.
Questions, sir?
Thank you. Have any commissioners or public comments?
I have one. I just want to thank Janet and her team. Saturday. Insane is the word I kept using. I just couldn't fathom the number of people. John, we had the event over here as well. Congratulations, that was, term of baseball terms, home run, that was a grand slam. So. Those expand. I can't imagine more people showing up. Thank you.
It was fantastic.
We appreciate that. Yeah, when we get a stage, there'll be,
Yeah, we're at that stage. It's really going to be a show, right?
but the, yeah, it'll be huge. The,
Where do you see my donkey and banjo show?
On stage.
I don't know that I said that out loud, Chief. I'm not sure.
it's all good. It's kid-friendly, don't worry. So, those were actually two really good events to pair together, too. Because it really kept people moving between. But I will say on the market, that was a great grand opening. Definitely appreciate the commissioners. And then on the Public Safety Day, that was a great event. Really included so many different parts of the county, not just fire services and the sheriff, but roads and bridges were out there, the animal service. Anybody from Animal here? John, didn't they adopt all the dogs? 14 of them or something? 13 or
12 maybe, yeah.
Nice.
I like 14. 14,
Favorite number.
40, they adopted 40 dogs, yeah.
And parking didn't seem to be an issue either when I was.
It really didn't, I don't think, but I parked over here, but I don't know, you came in later.
Right, I was shocked towards the end of the event how crowded it still was. Parking always seems to work itself out somehow, so, yeah, you know, it kind of adds to the drive up and see it that crowded, so. They've done a good job building it up over the last couple of years, sort of just in the street, in anticipation of the new venue. Of course, it worked out, having the open grass there, that added a sort of an element we really didn't sort of anticipate. But I think we've now created something that's going to be sort of a tradition over there that will continue to grow. So we're very excited. Thank you for.
And for Stephen Prather, that a lot of good comments on the market structure itself. People were really amazed by it.
Any other comments? Having no executive session items, we will adjourn and pick back up in just a couple of minutes for our next meeting.